The ancient Greeks first entered the territory now associated with them in about 2000 BCE, when Egypt was still a great power and the Minoans of Crete were evolving into a highly sophisticated society. The first migrants, who probably came from Russia and Central Asia, settled in the mountainous north and the Peloponnese to the south, where the city of Mycenae was founded c. 1600 BCE. Described by Homer as rich in gold, the Mycenaean civilization prospered thanks to trade networks across the Aegean and Mediterranean seas. With the Bronze Age collapse of palace culture and the end of Mycenaean civilization c. 1100 BCE, Greece entered its Dark Age. By the 8th century BCE, polis, or city-states, began to emerge as agricultural and trading hubs. Greece became a collection of separate city-states, such as Athens, Sparta, and Corinth, united by a shared language and the worship of common gods. However, Greek religion was not standardized. There was no book of doctrine to tell people how they should worship. Their mythology borrowed from their ancestors. The myth of the Minotaur came from the Minoans in Crete, and the Mycenaean era was the setting for the Trojan War, immortalized in Homer's Iliad. Athenian dominance. The classical era in Greece began with the fall of the powerful Persian Empire in 479 BCE. Having defeated the Persians, the city-states of Athens and Sparta fought each other for dominion over Greece. As the preeminent power, Athens was the setting for many Greek myths, from its origins under the care of its patron goddess Athena to tales such as Jason and Medea. Many of the surviving Greek myths come to us via Athenian dramatists, from the tragedies of Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides in the 5th century BCE to the comedies of Aristophanes, c. 446 to c. 386 BCE, and Menander, c. 392 to c. 291 BCE. These works told stories about the gods and heroes of Greek mythology and inspired later writers such as Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616, whose A Midsummer's Night's Dream and Romeo and Juliet borrow from Greek myth. The era of Athenian dominance ended in the 4th century BCE, when Macedonian ruler Alexander the Great built his empire. Thanks to Alexander's conquest, Greek culture and mythology were exported as far as Asia Minor, Egypt, Mesopotamia, and India. The major deities. It was the poets Homer and Hesiod who imposed order upon the myriad gods and beliefs inherited from earlier times. Homer set down his poetry from oral tradition around 800 BCE, after the migrations that followed the collapse of the Mycenaean culture. His two epic poems, the Iliad and Odyssey, gave the Greeks a history, a pantheon, and guidelines for how to live their lives. As the Olympian family of 12 principal gods dwelling on Mount Olympus gradually replaced older beliefs, Homer and Hesiod gave them distinct characters and appearances. Because Homer's epic poems were set in an aristocratic and feudal society which preceded the birth of democracy in Athens in the 5th century BCE, His gods behaved like chieftains, motivated solely by their own desires. Like other ancient agrarian peoples, the Greeks were local in their focus. They ordered their religious life around local places, identifying different hills, streams, and plains with different deities. This mythic lore invested every corner of the land with spiritual significance. The earth was the source of existence. Divine power originated in its depths, as did the crops. Myths sought to explain aspects of agrarian life. The tale of Persephone, daughter of the harvest goddess Demeter, and her imprisonment in the underworld by Hades was a way of accounting for the changing cycles of the agricultural year. The rise of the cult. At the end of the 5th century BCE, various mystery cults arose in the Greek-speaking world. Chief among these were the Eleusinian Mysteries, an ancient agrarian cult honoring Demeter and Persephone and promising paradise for the dead. The Dionysian cult, which originated in Asia, worshipped Dionysus and involved wild dancing, drinking, and ecstasy. Unlike the public worship of the gods, which was well documented, these mystery cults consisted of secret rites and doctrines that remain enigmatic to this day, but would go on to influence the beliefs and myths of ancient Rome.